Gotcha.
We're back. We missed a day. That's a completely my fault. I started a new job and I am completely dead and I just missed a day. But we're back. Of course, we're coming back at the greatest time of the week where there's no UFC involved, but we're still going to talk about it. Uh,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah, baby. Ken, how you doing, buddy? How are you?
Not too bad. Doing great. What about you?
So good, good. So the other day I watched a movie with my girl Madison. We watched this movie called Friendship. Ken recommended it to me, and I got to recommend it to everyone out there. It is hilarious. It's with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. His name is.
That's his name, yeah.
That's yeah. I was
I
asking.
thought you were just telling me. My bad.
No, no, I forgot his name because I forgot his name, but he's
Yeah.
hilarious. So everyone, if you're watching this, watch Friendship. It's on HBO Max. It's really good. But yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the last card. We're just gonna hit on the main event, and then jump into some other stuff UFC related. Um, so
We're
first
only
things
talking about the
first.
main event of the best fight night this year.
Well, all right. Well, we'll hit on some fights.
Okay.
We gotta give Dustin Jacoby his props. Dustin
Exactly.
Jacoby did what he had to do. He knocked out Julius Walker. He did it in emphatic fashion, and he
Neither of us
showed.
neither of us wanted Dustin Jacoby to win. We
I
both
know
picked
neither one
Julius
of us
Walker,
bet on
dude.
him to win, but he did it. Experience is a thing, and yeah. Did you see what Alex Pereira posted after he won?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, he said that he was one of the toughest opponents he faced, and you know, he's like an OG, and
Yeah.
people
So
shouldn't doubt him.
yeah,
People
that's
shouldn't doubt
true. So speaking of that, I wanted to kind of jump into something that is like Patchy Mix related and like other organization related. It is kind of funny when you see how different and how much of a level up it is from other organizations like the UFC is. You know what I mean? Like kickboxing, you could be a great kickboxer, but only the select few make it through to like the UFC and whatnot. And like they're really good. And sometimes they get overlooked, maybe because age or whatever. But dude, skill and experience is a real thing. And Dustin Jacoby obviously has that experience with Alex. And it's like, dude, they're just underrated, I think, these people. And underdogs are kind of on a good run this year, I think, so far.
Yeah, there was that there's like a UFC, or not a UFC fighter, but an MMA fighter that he had like two fights, and they were against like Yuri Prohaska and somebody else I can't remember, but it was like another like huge UFC guy, and he quit
Mhm.
after those two fights, and people are like, dude, imagine having your first two fights be Yuri Prohaska. I can't
I
remember who the
know.
other UFC guy was, but it's like, dude, obviously, like you're gonna lose those fights, and you just
Yeah.
probably think like you're not like cut out for the sport, but in reality, you just got like the worst luck ever and like fought two of the best guys.
Yeah, it's like you don't know who they're going to become, but they already have the potential right in front of you and they're using it on you, you
And
know?
that's kind of what happened with Alex too, because like Israel Adesanya came over, transitioned into MMA, did amazing, was the champion, and that's what Alex like credits for him, coming back into MMA and wanting to try MMA was because, he lost he beat Israel, and he was like, you know what, if I could beat Israel back then, I could beat him now, and
Yeah.
that's why he kind of took the jump into MMA.
Yeah, I think Alex is kind of a cool case because he is like I would kind of use him as the best example of someone who was a champion in another type of organization and comes over and whoops everyone's ass, you know? Like remember that he had a flying knee knockout. Like he knocked out Sean Strickland. It was like I feel like he just was on such a tear from the beginning. You know what I mean? And it's rare to see that. I mean, you have even think of people like Bo Nickel, people who are super highly regarded, and then they get beat by Renier de Ridder. Not saying Renier de Ridder's not a really good fighter, but
I
people
mean,
were
RDR is a
expecting,
good example of that. Champion in one championship coming over, beating Bo
yeah,
Nickel, who is like, the like
The
golden
next
child of the
one.
UFC. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the prodigy, the self-proclaimed prodigy, Dana
Yeah.
White's prodigy, and then he just gets humbled because people were saying, oh, he's gonna walk through RDR, but RDR was I think he was a two-time champion, one championship, and
Yeah.
sometimes it does translate. Like you didn't really want to talk about many fights on this, but Kyoji, dude, champion in Ryzen, champion
You're
in
so
One.
right, dude.
Like he's one of the people that he did start in the UFC, but he's come back, and I think like his experience outside of the UFC actually made him into a better fighter, and I think he could go on a run.
Yeah, and you also see like he fought Demetrius Johnson, lost, and then he went on a crazy win streak.
Did you see?
Like
Did you watch that loss? I actually rewatched the Demetrius Johnson fight.
I haven't watched it. Is it a really good fight?
So it kind of relates to another fight that happened. I think it was on the prelims where the one guy tapped with 1 second left.
Oh yeah,
Horiguchi,
yeah.
he actually tapped with 1 second left in the round two.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of crazy. Like it's crazy like how timing is because imagine if Horiguchi would have fought like in this flyweight era when he was that old. Like, he was probably still as good and it would have been a bigger division because obviously it wasn't as big when DJ was the champ.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's so crazy. And even talking about like divisions and things like that, kind of jumping into Dana White. Bro, did you hear that he is barely running the UFC right now?
Yeah, I thought that was like well known that Hunter Campbell has kind of been doing the majority of the
Well, I
lifting.
knew he was doing like the matchmaking and stuff, but like what I get annoyed with is Dana kind of just like presents himself as the guy who's doing everything though?
He's kind of almost become like the face of the UFC, so I think that's why they just make him do like most of the fight announcements and like, lead press conferences and stuff like that. But I saw he like has obviously a lot on his plate with Zuffa boxing. He has Power Slap, obviously. He has like a ton of stuff, but he does go to most of the meetings for the matchmaking and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that he's completely out of the loop, but he does
Yeah.
do a lot less than he used to.
Yeah.
And I think they've been trying to transition Hunter Campbell into the role of like the new Dana White.
Yeah, I just think I'm kind of sick of the Instagram lives.
So announce huge fights.
Yeah, like dude, can we do some production? Like you can do a cool like, something during a numbered event
Yeah.
to announce something like we don't need like, yo guys, it's gonna be McGregor versus like it's all choppy and shit. It's crazy. It's like 720p, not even high definition, you know?
Somebody was saying that they were like upset because whenever he was announcing the Joe Pyfer Israel Adesanya fight, he had to like look at his like notes to see who it was, and it's like you can't remember like the one of the best middleweight champions ever. Like you
He's
can't
like
remember who he's
Israel
fighting.
Adesanya versus what do we have
Joe
here?
Pyfer.
Joe Pyfer. Whoever that is.
Yeah. And he,
Like he
dude, one
doesn't
thing I
even
will
know.
say, his lie, like when he announces fights, like he used to sound excited. Now he's just like, yeah, we got Alex Morano versus Danil Doncheco. And yeah, that's gonna be a really good fight. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys aren't gonna want to miss it.
Yeah. No
It's like,
excitement at
come
all,
on.
dude.
It's like, come on. The White House car is gonna be crazy. He's gonna be
Oh
like,
yeah.
there's gonna be fireworks.
But he said they spent more on that than the sphere, dude.
Yeah, probably just for security though.
Yeah, but
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. So, do you think? So, another big UFC news: Tom Aspinall got some eye surgery. What do we think about this, Ken?
I mean, he either got eye surgery or he was smoking something, man. Holy shit. I've never seen eyes like that before.
Dude, they
His
were
eyes were
crazy
bad.
red. Look, he was
Yeah.
possessed.
But Brown
Um,
syndrome. I saw
yeah,
Michael Bisping talk about it, dude. And like just people saying that he faked the eye pokes and like is faking like this stuff. Like nobody like I heard Mike Bisping say this, but he was like, nobody's voluntarily getting eye surgery on both their eyes, dude. Like there was seriously something
Just to
wrong.
keep a
Like
story
people,
going.
yeah. That's like UFC. Some UFC fans are so fickle, dude. Just like, oh, he's a pussy. He didn't want to fight Cyril. Like, dude, come on. He got
Yeah,
eye poked
like
so bad, knuckle deep in both eyes, and people were just like, oh, he's a pussy. He was losing the fight. It was only round one, but he was losing the fight. That's why.
yeah, and the other thing is like let's all be real here. No one really wants to give up that much money right now. You know, like it's so much money. And it's like if he does get and if he does say stay out for longer, whatever, like if they do an interim belt, that is not good for Tom, you know?
Dude, well, how are my question is, how do they do an interim belt, like an interim title fight, whenever Tom technically is the undisputed champion, but he never beat the other champ.
I
He never
know
beat
it's
the
just like
former
it's
champion,
like an
and he just
upgraded
got upgraded.
interim
Yeah,
belt.
he just got upgraded from interim to undisputed. He never got to
Yeah.
defend it because of the Cyril Gone fight.
Yeah, his
So
flight
like,
ticket got upgraded.
it doesn't make any sense, dude. The
No,
heavyweight division right now is just ass,
it's so
straight
bad,
booty
dude.
cheeks.
That's what I was saying. Everyone who doesn't win by finish needs cut.
I think they no, just cut everybody. Honestly,
Yeah. Cut
make
everybody that's
205 and
not
up.
ranked.
Somebody brought
Everyone
up a
that's
good
not
point.
ranked.
The majority of people that are that size are playing other sports, and that's why the heavyweight division is so bad, because you can make so much more money playing
Playing
basketball,
football.
playing football, like doing other sports and being that big, even boxing. Like if you're that big, like do you really want to be in the UFC, or do you just want to box?
Yeah. And it's like nobody wants to, like you said, get their ass beat like that when there's so much other opportunities out there for easy money. You know?
Yeah.
Like you'd be 7 feet tall. Like, bro, imagine a 7 foot 250 guy in the UFC that has hands.
Wemby, dude.
Yeah, like bro, Wemby with jujitsu. Could you imagine his leg locks, bro?
Dude, all his high elbow guillotines. Holy crap.
Dude,
Picking
it would be
people up.
insane. I know it would be insane. Well, I don't know if he'd pick anyone up. Let's be real. He'd be 7 foot what? He'd be 7 foot featherweight.
Mate, no, I think he's over 200. I think he's like
No, but could you?
250.
No, but
Because
for
he's
real
big,
though.
he's tall.
But for real, could you imagine Giannis trained and like
Honestly, dude. People were
going
saying
at
about
someone?
I that's where I saw it. Somebody it was what's his name? The D end for the Raiders, Max Crosby. He's a huge UFC fan, and Dana White, like I don't know if it was jokingly or not, but said, dude, if like you train for 3 years, you could seriously be like the UFC heavyweight champion. And I think like those sort of athletes like that are like the people that would translate best into MMA. Like you have former offensive linemen that come to the MMA like heavyweight division and they do well. Josh Hokick, for example. Like there's a lot of people. Even the guy that beat his wife and stuff, he was on the Cowboys. He did decent, and then he started taking inhalers in between rounds and got suspended and stuff.
Oh,
But
Greg
still,
Hardy.
yeah, Greg Hardy. Like
Bro,
even
he's a
Brendan Shaw,
champion now
man.
though.
Brendan Shaw. Come
Dude,
on. The
do you
hybrid, Big
do you know
Brown,
what I think it
Brendan
is
Shaw.
though?
What?
I honestly think what it is, I think it's commitment. Because I think with football, like obviously at the higher levels, you're fully committed. Like these guys know what watching film is. These guys know what hard training is. Like the lifting is done. Now it's all learning new skills. Like they want to learn jujitsu, they want to learn striking. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of it's the actual commitment to learning new things. Like, bro, watching Tai Tuivasa in his last fight was sad. It made me scared for his health, you know? And it's
Still
like,
not cut.
yeah, he's not cut. But it's like there's people that are like that just in the UFC. Like it's not relatively hard if you wanted if your goal in life was to go to the UFC for heavyweight division, you don't have to try that hard. Do you know what I mean?
You don't.
Like it's not nearly as hard as going for like welterweight or lightweight or middleweight, you know? Like that's like years and years of training. These guys are fresh off of NFL seasons. Like like they're good, you know? Like the you like they like you said, they need a good revamp, a good cut reset, you know, like a bad
Yeah.
company.
Just get like smaller guys, dude, like 230 to 240. We don't need
Yeah.
these 300-pound men that are actually like severely overweight. I'm not saying Tai Tuivasa isn't an athlete. You can be overweight and be a great athlete. You can be athletic, but 330 pounds and then you have to cut to like 265 and you look like
Yeah.
you're dying. Like
Uh-huh.
that's not what this sport should be.
What I think of it is like think of like fat people, right? I think of an athletic fat person will still be able to knock someone out in the third round. How many fights do you watch where after 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the first round, they're breathing heavy and it's like sparring? You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
just gassed. That is my biggest pet peeve with heavyweights, how easily they're gassed, you know. But if you had like two athletic people, they're still in it. Like Josh Hokett, for instance, like he's still in it, but in the third round, you know, I would
Yeah.
assume. You know, these athletes that are committed, like Brendan Schaub, when he was fighting, you know, even like think of even just commitment, like Glover
JDS.
Teixeira,
Yeah, Glover.
JDS, dude, even Volk,
Alistair Overeem.
yeah, Volkanovski,
Volkov.
yeah,
You mean Volkov?
literally, dude. Yeah, dude, you're so right. You're so right. But yeah, dude, speaking about UFC and like all this stuff, how do you think they can make the promos better? Like, do you think are you okay with the way Dana does it? What or do you want more? Like, what do you want?
I feel like they could if they just did like they don't like have to do like an announcement. Maybe just do like a little promo package like wrestling does, where it's like just a little highlights from one guy, highlights from another guy, and then like just like a just show them face off like a face off. AI
Yeah.
generated face off. Like that's enough for me. Like just throw something together like that. Because in the Dana White videos that he does, like they do chop in some like highlights of a fighters. Just do that with like somebody else talking over it. Like those would be a lot better than Dana White reading off a piece of paper, dude.
Yeah.
And then pointing to the
Dude,
wall. Oh yeah, we got this guy and this guy. It's gonna be a
yeah.
great fight. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, that's you're so right. Dude, so what I was thinking, and tell me if you were a UFC executive, how you would take this pitch. All right. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. So right before the co-main event, we get John Anik on the screen and he says, "All right, guys, we got a big announcement for you." And then on the big screen, and then it comes on our screen, you know, like at the event, and then it comes on our screen. It's like they do like a promo, you know, like a little 1 minute 30 video, and then the like and it's only the main event. And if it's good enough, you can do the main and co-main. But then you bring out the main and the main event people to face off before the co-main for that event. And then you don't even have to do a video. You can build because the hype will be there. You can just build the card how they do on Instagram. You know what I mean? Just like add them, you know. But once you make the hype off of rip, people are hype, you know? What do you think about that? If you were a UFC exec, what would you change? What do you think is like good about that or bad?
No, that'd actually be pretty cool. I also like just to add to that, like if you're having a championship fight, say like Daniel Cormier versus Stipe, and you have like Daniel Cormier calling out Brock Lesnar, and then you have Brock Lesnar in the crowd. So then when Daniel Cormier wins, they're like they
Yeah.
bring Brock in, and then you have that face off right there because you're
Yeah.
that's pretty much what you're planning next. So like if you
Yeah.
have like a number one contender, there's a title fight, have the number one tender in attendance, and then like hey TBD date TBD this is the next fight we're making. It's going to be a numbered event. We
But
just
get
got to get
hype
the date
for it.
ready.
It's not an
Yeah.
Instagram video. And
Yeah,
I was
that'd be so
thinking,
much better too.
well, because I was thinking like, and I was thinking timing would be better because if you did like, yeah, if you did, you can't do it obviously after the co-main because then it takes the shine away if it was a championship fight. But I
I
figured,
mean, they have two title fights sometimes.
yeah, but that's what I mean is like if you did it right before the co-main, I feel like sometimes the three fights before the co-main and the main are pretty weak, you know?
Hmm.
But if you throw that in there, you're getting so many people tuned in for at least the co-main to watch that promo, and especially if you get John Anik on the screen, he does that cool shit that he does where he's like, "All right, everybody," you know? It'd be
Maybe
sick.
even do like maybe you have a few fights for that for the like the same card and just in between, different fights be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
by the way, this fight's added to that card. Hey, this fight's added to that card.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing Dan Ige versus Joshua Van for the title."
Speaking about other organizations and things like that, have you seen the BKFC, the cruise thing?
I did not. I had no idea
Dude,
what that was.
so apparently,
BKFC.
yeah, apparently what Conor McGregor wants to do is he wants to have like a cruise ship with fights on it.
Okay. Why?
I don't
What is
know.
the
I don't
point
know
of
how
that?
that would work. How do you account for like, the swaying of the boat?
I mean, uh, I'm also a wrestling fan. They do wrestling cruises all the time. It's basically the same thing as a fight. So I mean, I don't see like what you've been on cruises. Do you feel when you're like in the middle of the ship? Do you feel the swaying of it,
I mean,
or
I feel
you
like if
you
you were
just
stand I feel like if you were fighting, it would definitely make a difference. There were definitely times where I definitely lost my balance. It all
okay?
depends on how big the ship is. I mean, I don't know if Conor
I'm sure
McGregor's
it's gonna
taking
be a
on a,
huge cruise, dude.
yeah, I hope
Huge
so.
cruise
I
ship.
mean, what do you think? Would you go on something like that?
Nah, probably not.
That's not something you would do.
I'm just not a cruise guy. I don't want the poop cruise that ever happened to me, dude. I don't
Oh
want
my
to
God,
be
shout out Netflix.
abandoned in the middle of the sea and then, you know, run out of food and water and almost die.
Yeah, that would be terrible, but it would be a good story. But just
If you
imagine
survive.
like, yeah, but it would be so bad if you were on that cruise and it was like the poop crew because like you're on with a bunch of fighters. Like they're just gonna get angry and beat the crap out of you.
Yeah. So that's one thing also that I think might like if there's any animosity between like two fighters, dude, how are you separating them? Oh
Bro,
yeah, we're
oh
just
my
gonna
God,
we're gonna be on this
dude.
cruise for 7 more days, but yeah, let's just keep these guys separated.
Bro, a
Okay.
PFL fighter is gonna get killed. He's gonna get thrown off the
Yeah.
fucking boat. My God, dude.
I don't know if that's the smartest. I see why some people would go for it, not personally for me, but I mean, it's a cool idea, I guess.
Yeah,
Just why, like, you're trying to build BKFC, why limit, like, how many people are going to be able to actually go to it, you know? Because
yeah.
that would
No, you're
obviously
right.
limit the crowd size and stuff. Are they, like, going to broadcast the fight? Like,
I
what's
would
the
hope so.
what's the
Starlink,
logistics for
baby.
that?
Probably
Starlink?
Starlink. Probably
Mm,
something like that. But hey, let's
that'd be
see.
hard.
Hey, he's ambitious. He's never fighting again, ever, ever, ever again, never.
No, he's in training, dude. White House guard. Him
Bro,
versus Rufi.
dude, I saw this thing on Instagram. It was this kid he posted. He was like training with Conor McGregor, and like no disrespect to the kid, but like he was like an amateur, like he was garbage. And Conor was like beating him up, and it was like Conor, what? This is not the training you need. This is just ego training. You know, you just like it's just crazy. Um, big big UFC news today, guys. Jailton Almeida cut by the UFC.
Hate to see him go.
You hate to see it.
Such a great fighter. Such a great fighter.
I love to see it actually. I mean, it sucks for him, but dude, you need to fight a little bit. You don't even try. Like, come on. You're in the UFC, brother. Well, you were in the
Yeah.
UFC. God, they're cutting you for laziness. If this is the Hunter Campbell effect, I like it. You know?
Yeah.
Send
I
him.
mean,
Send him to the PFL.
do you think he's going to the PFL?
No, I no. Send him to Connor's cruise ship.
That's
No, I don't
funny.
know where he's gonna go, bro. He's probably gonna go to like, yeah, probably PFL or BKFC. They always end up going there.
Do
You
you
know?
see did you see Curtis Blades what he had to say about Jolton Almeida?
No, what'd he say?
He was I think he was like Twitch streaming and somebody asked him about him and he was like, "Oh, I hated him. I hated fighting him. I hate fighting guys that just want to hug you and just hold you the entire fight." That's pretty much like all he tries to do. It's
Yeah, he
like
just hold. Yeah,
it's
dude. And then
accurate.
he lost 2 fights because of it.
Yeah,
It's like go hold a pillow and cry in it because you did it to yourself, buddy. It's crazy. Speaking of fighters, and yeah, speaking of fighters, let's talk about some scary fighters.
scary
So
fighters.
yeah, we got a we did a little list. We each picked 5 fighters that are 5 of the scariest looking fighters or the scariest fighters. Um, my list is a mix of a list. It's kind of like people I would be afraid of being in a room alone with if they were angry at me, and
That's
people
fair.
I would be afraid of just looking at. So Ken, who's on your list? Give me one person. We'll go one for one.
Do these have to be active fighters? I just did like past UFC fighters also
They can
included.
be anyone. They can be anyone.
Okay, so I had on there somebody um that has one of the scarier nicknames, the Axe Murderer, Vanderlei Silva, dude.
Yep.
I would not I would not want to be
Oh my
like
God, dude.
in a dark alley with Vanderlei Silva, dude. Come on, dude.
No. No, dude. That would be terrifying. Well, how do you think he would kill you? What weapon do you
Uh,
think he would choose?
I don't know, man, because I
You
wouldn't let
don't
him
think
get
he would
close.
choose an axe?
I wouldn't let him get close.
He'd
Can't let
chuck
him
an
get
axe
close.
at you.
No, dude, he'd beat the shit out of me, obviously. Come on, man. You just pound my
Dude,
face into the ground, dude. I don't know.
maybe you should offer him an axe. Maybe that's like a peace offering for him.
Maybe.
He'd be
Yeah.
like, he'd be
I just
like,
won't
I
let him
no
get
kill you.
close.
Don't get close. Can't let him get close.
Exactly.
All right, so for terrifying, if they were angry at me and we were in a room, I have a killer.
Dude. Nah, dude,
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of Francis until he opened his mouth and
Yeah.
he
Oh
started
my
talking.
God. Did you see him on Ariel Hawani?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, are they like do they have enough money? Like, get media trained. Like, what is going
Yeah.
on? I don't get it. Like, he first of all, he made enough money from AJ and Tyson Fury, not alone the UFC, to know how to speak a little bit.
PFL, dude. Did they not pay him like $10 million for that fight?
Yeah, and he fought some random guy in the PFL. Like, it's like, dude, it's crazy. I saw this thing the other day and it made me like it like blew my mind. It was like the things that happened so many years ago. And it's just like, dude, time has flown by. Like Dustin Poirier retired 8 months ago. Who's your next scariest motherfucker?
I have a Fedor Emelianenko.
That's a good one. That's a good choice.
Dude, his stare downs just fucking scary. I
Yeah.
he could kill me just by staring me down from across the room,
Yeah.
dude. Come on.
Dude.
And then his ties with like, you know, Putin and everyone, dude, that also scares me as well.
Yeah,
His
he's
brother was
definitely
in
got
jail
some
forever.
connections.
Yeah.
The connections are there for him to give you a slow, painful death. I
Yeah.
have Rampage Jackson.
Okay.
I feel like him angry is probably one of the scariest, terrifying things
If you're a
ever.
door, dude,
Yeah, if you're
don't
a
go there
door,
dressed like a
bro.
door.
Yeah.
or, if you,
Oh my
or if you would
God, dude.
have to.
He'll kick that shit out and then rip it off the freaking hinges. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Dude, some of the stuff that he does on stream is so funny. You watch his stream like highlights ever?
Sometimes. I was
I,
actually
I'll,
watching him whenever he was like training his son before his son like, went to jail.
Ken, who's your third scariest fighter?
just somebody like I would kind of probably be scared of. Um, R.I.P. Kimbo Slice.
Dude, I was gonna put him on my list, but I didn't. He is somebody that like you literally do not want to mess with. But on the other hand, he's also somebody that is like not terrifying if you knew him.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know? He's like a hostess cupcake. He's
Yeah, I was just going based off of looks for scariest, dude.
oh yeah, well that is scary as shit. You know, like the way he looks. He looks like a fucking gang member.
It does.
I have a cyborg.
Chris Cyborg. You don't have Chris Cyborg, do you? You have
I
Chris
do. I do.
Oh my god, dude.
Yo,
Why do you have Ryan Rosa, dude? How is he scary?
have you
Chewie! What? Chewie! Dude, why is he on your list? You
have
went
you
crazy. Are you kidding me?
have
Ryan
you
Rosa
seen have you
after Chris
seen him?
Cyborg? After Chris Cyborg? Dude. Oh my god, dude.
Have you seen him? He looks like the lizard from Monsters Inc. and his face, dude. If you
He's
saw
not scary
him,
at all, dude. He is not
Chewie!
scary. He is not scary at all, dude.
Yeah, do it
That is
again, do it again.
crazy. I can't. I don't know how to do it.
My God, dude. Well, considering you saw my list, who's your last guy?
No, explain Chris Cyborg for me, please. I need
Dude,
to
she's
know
just
about Chris
terrifying
Cyborg.
looking, man. Like she's just
How
terrible.
so?
She's just not my type, I guess.
She's not your type.
I mean, have you seen her? I'm not into the masculine, jacked woman. And
That's
that's
fair,
scary.
but
I don't want a girl who's gonna murder me if in the dark room if she's mad at me.
okay.
You
That's
know?
fair.
I mean, what do you think? You think she's scary?
No, I can see it. I can see it. I don't she's not the first one that came to mind. I don't have any women on mine, but I mean that makes sense for you, I guess. What is that? No,
Oh
I
my God.
had Shane Carwin. Do you know Shane Carwin, dude?
Yes, dude. Oh
I
my
had him
God,
on my
yes.
list.
Yeah.
And then a man that you know, attempted murder, Cain Velasquez.
His cardio will murder you.
They will.
We're moving on to the next section. We're going to talk about our referees. Everybody knows about our referees. The guys, the third man in the ring, the guy who enforces all the laws. We all
Hmm.
know them. We watch them. We love them. We hate them. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're really bad. Me and Ken have a list of our favorites, and we each picked our least favorite.
Hmm.
So Ken, let's start with our least favorite. Who's your least favorite referee? Keith Peterson, baby.
Mario, Mario
Oh
Yamasaki, dude. Come on. He was so bad at his job, he got fired. He was
no,
so bad that Dana White refuses
okay,
to allow
okay.
him to ref any UFC events. Was it all
Listen,
time or
I
does it
agree.
have to be active?
I was gonna do active. I was gonna do
Okay,
active.
then Dan Mergliotta, dude.
Really? He's on my list of
Yes.
favorites.
No.
You don't like him because
He
he just
just
lets everything go.
yeah, he also like it's kind of
Yeah,
annoying. He'll like clap, just be like, come on, guys, let's go. Come on. Hey.
yeah.
And then the last fight, like with Dustin Jacoby and what's his name?
Julius
Julius
Walker.
Walker. He like Dustin Jacoby knocked him out like three different times.
Yeah, well, that I think all these
Lorisenko
refs.
and Paul Felder were like, "Oh, I thought he was out right there. He was," and then he just
He
was like, "Oh, come on, keep going." It's
Show
like,
me
no.
something.
Dude, come on. He was like, he got his
Show me
face down with his
something.
hands out trying to grab for his foot. And then Dustin Jacoby just like ran away and like pointed at him, like, come on, ref, call it. He's like, no, come
Yeah,
on, keep it going.
yeah, dude. I feel like my least. Honestly, I have to pick between three people because it's hard. Like I have Keith Peterson, Mark
Why three
Goddard.
people? Oh, you don't
Well,
like
because
Mark Goddard?
dude, I like Mark Goddard, but he's like too he's too involved. Like he's like, all right, he's like, come on, come on, get off of him. He's like, come here, come here. He's like, and then you remember when I think DC got poked in the eye, and he was like, he like tells fighters things didn't happen. He's like it'll be so clear that like somebody gets poked in the eye, and he'll be like, no, no, you didn't get poked, and he'll be like, the replay will be like a thumb deep in the
Yeah,
eye. It's like, come on, man. He does that all the time. And then Keith Peterson, I just think Keith Peterson is just like he just kind of seems like he's bored.
he does seem a little bored. He
But
just stands there.
yeah, he
He's
lost a
he's so
ton
weird
of
looking
weight.
too. Yeah, but I think he should have kept the weight. He looks really weird now.
Yeah, he looks like yeah, because his head is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's on
So
your list of favorites?
who was your least favorite then? 'Cause you just gave me three. I thought we were
My I would
your least
probably
favorite was three
say
different people.
I would yeah, build me your least favorite referee. No, uh I would probably say my least favorite ref. Dude, honestly, just because I don't like when I see him. Do you know that short ref during the New Jersey cards?
The like tan jacked one
Yeah, with the
with the
short.
hair. Yeah. You don't like him.
It's, I don't
That
know
guy's
why, but
funny, dude.
he just like screams New Jersey, dude. No, but if we're talking about the regulars, I would say probably Mark Goddard, just because he's too involved and he tells people things that didn't happen or did happen that he thinks like we're wrong, you know? Like, no, you
Yeah.
didn't get poked. Yes, I did. Or, oh, that was clean. It's like, no, it was under my balls, you know? Yeah. What about you?
My least favorite?
Yeah, active.
I already said.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Who was it
Dan
again?
Magliata.
Yeah. Who do you have another least favorite?
Uh just because of his fucking beard, Mike Beltran, dude. I don't like
My
his
God,
beard.
dude.
He
Yo,
fucking
Mike
tucks it in and it's
Beltran.
braided.
Bro,
I just
Mike
want him to have it
Beltran,
untucked
dude.
one fight and then like have to like swing it behind his back to pull somebody off.
Yeah, he like grabs it. He's like, get off of him. And like pulls him back. Starts whipping him with the hair. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Who's all right, who's your three favorite?
It's the top three, man. Top three refs in the sport. Herb Dean. Gotta make Herb Dean up there. Guy that will put his body on the line. Mark Smith. Speedy recovery, Mark Smith.
Yeah, yeah, good,
And
yeah.
another guy who kind of is in controversy right now, but Jason Herzog, man.
Yeah, that's that. I had Jason Herzog on mine, but I was curious because I was like, dude, it seems like more recently than ever, he lets fights go on way too long.
Yeah.
Like way too long. And I saw this video on YouTube. It was so funny. It was a picture of Jason Herzog, and the label was "This ref is definitely betting on fights," and it was like he's definitely betting on the fights to like go over because he's
Yeah.
just like letting them live when they're dying over and over again. Just hammer fist to the nose, and he's just like dead on the ground. Move fighter, show me something. It's like he's having a seizure.
Yeah, he's definitely I mean, he's being looked into. It's being looked into.
Yeah. But no, my list was pretty much the same. I have Herb Dean and Mark Smith as well. I had Dan Mergliotta because I actually don't mind Dan. I think he does say like let's get going a little bit too much,
I think
but
he
he
gets
gets him
annoying. He gets way
sometimes.
too involved.
Do you think he has like main character syndrome?
I think he does. He like I feel like he like thinks the fight's more about him, dude.
Who do you
If you watch any more of his fights, dude, he's in that camera. He's on he's in between the guys. He's moving around to make sure he's still in that camera
who do you think is the best referee
of all time.
of all time?
Terry Hatley.
Really?
No, not at all, dude.
I was saying
Nah,
fucking
dude,
Herb
it's
Dean.
yeah, it has to be Herb Dean, but I don't know, man. It's kind of like iffy because the longer he does it, I mean, the more people are like starting to critique him. And I
Yeah.
feel like Mark Smith kind of took his spot as like one of the better referees.
Yeah,
Like
because
I
Mark
thought it
Smith
was
is
Herb
kind of
Dean,
like,
and then kind of became Jason Herzog, and now I think Mark Smith's like up there as one of the best refs.
yeah, because you know what I kind of like about Mark Smith? And I kind of feel like this about Herb Dean, but maybe not as so much. Mark Smith might be the most no bullshit ref. Like
Yeah,
it kind of seems like he doesn't have like it almost seems like all the other refs are like low key friends with them. You know what I mean? Like, but Mark Smith's just like get off the cage. Hey, no, like you know. But yeah, no, Mark Smith. I think like what you said is kind of taking the reins is the best one right now.
yeah, I like Herb
Um,
Dean just because he is like the head of the refs right now, and he was on Biz Bing's podcast talking about the eye pokes and said, you know, the next time eye poke happens, going to take a point, and then like that
good.
next weekend there was a fight, and he was like, yeah, he took a point for eye pokes.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's what they need to do. I think the change comes from the people who are the most recognizable, the people who are watching the biggest fights and reffing the biggest fights. So if you were a ref, what do you think is like the hardest ones to call? Like I always think the nut shots are always so iffy.
What do you? I mean, they have the replay now, so
So no, but I mean like some of them, like not like I mean as much as a referee, like as hard to call a stop as action. Like you can so clearly see when someone leans over the fence. But I would say the hardest thing to see that it's clear or not is the nut shot, you know?
I I think the hardest thing to see is like the grabbing the inside of the gloves. So you hear a
That
bunch
is
of
true.
fighters complain about that.
Yep.
It's like, how are you supposed to get in there to actually see that, especially when they're on the ground grappling?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you got me beat there. That has to be the hardest thing to see for sure. Yeah. Would you ever consider reffing? Oh, a UFC fight or
No,
anything like that?
I mean, obviously, if I could do that, I would do that, but I don't see myself doing it now.
Yeah. Do you think they have a lot of pressure as refs? Like,
I think the refs don't have as much pressure as the judges. I would hate to be a judge. I think the refs don't have that much pressure because the majority of the fights, the refs don't have to get involved at all. Besides, you know, oh, round ended. Come on, split up. Like that's
how
literally it.
how much do you think judges have a bias towards someone based on like, popularity or things like that? Do you think that happens a lot?
I mean, I'm sure it does, and like people have said in the past, like one judge is going to score wrestling more like as more of like a advantage versus like another person. Maybe this judge came from like a wrestling background, and this judge came from a boxing background, so he's going to score like strikes more heavy like towards the person striking versus the wrestling judge who is like, you know, he had a lot of control time and didn't have a lot of strikes, but like he controlled them, and like, you know, you have like a jujitsu judge who knows like, okay, he's working towards like seven different submissions here. He just can't lock in. Whereas other judges might just be like, oh, he did nothing. He just laid there. He did nothing. Meanwhile, the jujitsu judge is like, oh, I saw him like working towards like a Kimura, Americana,
Yeah.
something like that.
What do you think is the fairest way to judge a fight, or do you think they kind of have it the best way they can have it?
I feel like they have it the best way they can have it currently. I like some people were saying like have like past fighters as judges just because like they know like, you know, they probably know more intricacies than the actual judges of like what they're doing inside. Like I some of the I mean I don't people say like you don't have to be a UFC fighter to talk about UFC, but I'm sure like UFC fighters know a lot more information than people that aren't in the UFC, like
I think they
fighting.
definitely have more of a realization of what's like an advantage position versus like some like for instance Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida. Everyone who knows fighting would give Alexander Volkov the rounds on the ground, but someone who's a wrestler or like grappler may give Almeida the round because they give that as such an advantage, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I understand. And also speaking of that and judging and refing, with 10-8 rounds and 10-9 rounds, and kind of jumping into this video I saw about these UFC refs going over the Hamzat Chimaev versus DDP thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, where they said that he doesn't think it would be a 10-8 round because although he did control him and hold him down, he didn't really do too much action, and like he
Yeah,
would have had to land like big shots or do some
he
type
didn't
of
do
damage.
damage. Yeah. What is your opinion on that? Like, what do you clarify if you were watching a fight as a 10-8 versus a 10-9?
I mean, I can see why they gave that a 10-8 because he did get DDP did get manhandled. He didn't could not improve his position at all. And
Yeah,
Hamza just kind of did whatever he wanted with him there. He didn't do much damage and he didn't like try submissions or anything like that. But at that point, like I would say some of the Islam JDM rounds could have been 10-8 because Islam would just take him down. JDM would do zero damage. And he couldn't improve his position at all and just got held down. He got some ground and pound, some damage, and some submission attempts. Like I can see how they score that 10-8, but at the same time, I do agree that maybe like a 10-8 round would have to be like two knockdowns, like
yeah,
you clip a guy twice, you put him down twice, like and then like the entire rest of the round, like the guy lands maybe like less than 10 shots and you're landing like 20, 30 shots and you drop him twice. I could see that being a 10-8 round.
yeah,
But I feel like they don't give it out very often, so it makes sense that I mean they have given it out to the Hamzat like DDP like that kind of fight. They have given those two wrestlers like that before for like control time and the other guy literally not being able to do anything.
yeah. And another thing about that is DDP was the champion. You know, Hamza came in and did that to the champion, you know?
Yeah.
Like that has to have a little bit of weight towards the score in the first round, you know, freshness and to do that to him just like that in the first round. Here's a question for you. What do you think as a UFC ref you could ever give a round 10-7?
If it's a 10-8 round and then a guy does eye poke, dude, right there, take a point away. 10-7.
Oh. Do you think has that ever happened, do you know?
I don't I, I don't think so, but I think that's how like some 10-8 rounds have happened in the past.
For sure,
Guy
for
gets a point
sure.
taking him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with 10-8s, it all depends. You know, like with what you said, you can get a 10-8 in two different ways, you know, knocking someone down and completely beating their ass for a whole round and then they leave the round bloodied up and messed up. Or I would arguably say you can go back to your stool with a broken nose and your face cut up from getting your ass beat with a 10-8 round and recover better than getting held down and demoralized for an entire round and have that damage to your head. You know what I mean? In that
Yeah.
fight. Like, how am I going to come back from this type feeling? That is worse than I think, like, getting hit a lot and being like, you know, because I feel like when you get hit a lot, you'd be like, all right, let's reset. But when he sits down and he knows, like, bro, I can't get up, it's just so demoralizing, you know? It's arguably worse, you know, not for health, but for the brain, you know? It's
You know
crazy.
what fight was actually like pretty crazy and had multiple 10-8 rounds?
Huh?
Max Holloway versus Calvin Cater, dude.
Really? Max Holloway, what is it? What was the final score of that fight? Like 30 what?
Oh, it was a 5 round fight. It was
Oh yeah.
50-43. He had
Dude,
two 10-8 rounds.
that was such an easy night for Max, dude.
Yeah, and that is like right there is like the perfect example of like you completely just outstriking the guy, and just the defense that he showed, especially in like the fifth round. He's talking to the
Yeah,
commentators saying, "I'm the best boxer alive," as he's looking away, dodging punches and just jabbing Gator,
yeah,
dude. Like that right there, couple 10-8s, well deserved 10-8s.
yeah. Hey, another question. So if there's a fight, like if there's a round one, right? Say it's like say fucking there's Volk versus Islam, and it's a very even first round, and like and you're literally 50-50 in your head. What do you look to in the round as the defining factors for like giving someone the round? Like, do you look at striking as like if Islam takes Volk down for like and holds him down for a minute, but Volk gets up and beats Islam up striking for 2 minutes, what do you find more valuable?
I mean, right now, obviously, the main criteria, the number one criteria for winning a round is damage. So if Volk's doing more damage, if Islam held him down for a minute but didn't do any damage at all, you'd have to
Right.
score it for Volk for doing damage, landing significant strikes. I don't know. Significant strikes, like sometimes like guys can have more significant strikes, but they lose the round. I get like damage is the main thing, but I feel like how many times are you actually landing punches against a guy? Just because like I think leg kicks are highly overlooked right now, where
Yeah.
there's fights where guys are landing 31 significant strikes and it's all leg kicks, but he's losing the fight even though the other guy's like limping around. That's definitely damage.
Bro, you can't trust those stats on the TV though, bro. They're fake. They're
You
so
think so?
wrong.
You
Dude,
think
yeah,
so?
like oh my God. Yeah, dude, they're so off. Especially when they, like when they pull them up like round by round in the bottom and it's like they're so off. Like
This guy
it's so
landed two
bad.
significant strikes to the head, even though he punched the guy like
Yeah.
7 times.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what's
so crazy.
significant? Is a jab significant? I don't think they count jabs as significant
I
strikes.
think a significant strike is anything with full extension maybe.
Mm,
Or I'm not sure. I have no idea. I got to look into that. That would be good to look into with an MMA podcast,
yeah.
you know? Oh, but hey, everyone, we just wanted to hop on. We wanted to talk a little bit about some of the MMA stuff and the UFC stuff that was popping off in the
You know what we didn't
in
talk about?
what?
Mario Batista winning. We skipped over Mario
All
Batista,
right,
dude.
hey, before we get out of here, guys, let's talk about Mario Batista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Mario absolutely beat up um Vinicius. What do you think?
Round one was pretty even. I think, like you texted me, levels. There are definitely levels to it. I think Mario Batista using a Kimura to take the back straight into a rear naked choke. That was the craziest transition I've ever seen.
Dude, the transition was nasty.
Yeah, it reminded me of Mighty Mouse doing the whiz bar
Oh my God, the L
suplex
arm
into,
bar to
yeah.
the thing. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's
Yeah, it was just
crazy.
perfect timing. I don't know if he's ever like drilled that or what, but like Kimura straight to the back take.
I
That's
know,
like that was amazing.
and for Oliveira, it's like, dude, he never saw that in training.
No.
He was never expecting that, you know? And he gassed after like the first round.
Yeah, they said that he's pretty heavy for the weight class, and they don't know how many times he is going to make the weight again because it is a big cut.
Yeah. 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 All right, well, hey everybody. We just wanted to hop on. We wanted to talk a little bit about some MMA stuff, some UFC stuff, and yeah, we just wanted to say what up. You know, we missed a lot. My apologies for missing our last podcast. 100% my fault. I take full accountability and responsibility. It won't happen again. But yeah, we're there's no UFC this weekend, but we'll be back on Sunday to talk about some more UFC news and updates and stuff. And yeah, so we will see you guys on Monday. Ken, get
Yeah,
us out of here.
catch ya.